episode on Homes of Hope Fiji podcast, and I'd like to greet you all the way from rainy Wailoku. I'd like to welcome Auntie Etta, Nana Mary, and Auntie Lily, who are here again. And past two episodes, we've talked about family, having relationships with each other, parents and children with us as parents. And we talked about communication and how it was important to have communication to have a healthy family. So today, what we're going to talk about today really is a safe space. Having a safe space and knowing your safe people that you can talk to about anything that you're going through, especially our children. So this is going to be an exciting one as well.
Yes, it is exciting in terms of children, because children can talk to you when that communication is open to them and honest. Children can come to you and talk about anything and anywhere. Especially, I'm looking at a child who has been abused in this context when we talk about the culture of silence here. Because it has been our culture that children are not given that space to speak up. So this is something that hurts them, and that is where communication is all about. And for them to hear that, to be able to come clean, who can say it's all about us who are living within. But I think most of us here would like to share on those safety net or my safety net for the child to know. And I think it's
What was it like for you? I mean, for us, it's okay. It's very different. I think we're the total opposite. But did you have that relationship where you were able to tell your parents anything?
No. I grew up in a very dysfunctional family, very emotionally dead, absent. So no. And when I came across things, I did not have the freedom nor the trust to go to my parents. But I'm old, and so I didn't encounter the things that kids are encountering these days.
Right. Yeah.
And so I don't know if it's fair, but culturally, and back in my day, when I was a child, my parents just came out of World War II. So we're talking a long time ago from some parents that were very damaged through the war. And so it's a different scenario, but typically the American culture is quite different from Itauke culture, and that culture of silence is so prevalent in the South Pacific.
Yes.
Yeah.
How about you, Nana Mary and Auntie?
Oh, well, talking about the culture of silence. I grew up in Suva, literally Suva. And, a place at that time where it was known for its crime. Yeah. And, with a big family, it wasn't easy for my parents. And I can identify with you, Auntie Lynn. When I started growing up, it was almost like a dysfunctional family.
Yeah.
My parents at that time, when I was at primary school, he was a drunkard and a womanizer. And I got to live through those experiences until my dad realized, okay, it's time to stop everything else. But hurt was done already. Yeah, and it took me a while. I'm not sure about my younger siblings. It took me a while to trust my dad.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm grateful for my mom, who was always with us, and the culture of silence.
Yeah.
I went to school, I pretended that all was okay, because I didn't want to tarnish our family name.
Yes.
Right? And when we meet as a family, then it's all good at home.
And would you say that's still the same today? That attitude?
It's still the same.
Yes.
It's still the same.
Yes.
And I can see, I just came back from the Solomon Islands.
Yes.
I tried to observe,
Yeah.
the culture of silence, and it's very much prevalent.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can see it's how some Pacific Islanders who do not wish to change is still living.
Yes.
And that's how they are raising their families.
So that is what contributes into a child's life. Because we're looking at abuse, he or she has gone through it. and who else to turn to? And this is why Homes of Hope is so good in what we are doing. Or because we have a toolkit that has been developed to help the children speak up, and to help the parents or teachers, whoever out there, to be their protectors when issues of this kind, like as come out their way. And that is why I remember a teacher, a woman who shared, she has been abused when she was a child, from 5-year-old, from the biological father, sorry to say. But then she didn't tell anyone because it's a taboo subject, whereby that kind of relationship was. Then the father stopped when she got married. By then, after a few years, both the wife and the father and the mother passed away. But then she promised herself, I will never ever let any of my children be abused like me. One thing I'm thankful to this woman, that she was able to share it, so that all the women out there in the community and around the Pacific could listen to what she had.
Yeah.
She had the intention not to abuse any of for the children to go through the same, because it was a taboo. She couldn't say to the parents that you are the very people I trust, and yet you abused me.
Okay, so now Mary, you take this curriculum, Thumbs Up, Safe Touch, Unsafe Touch, and you teach ECE teachers so that they can teach children in their classrooms. When you teach the teachers, what do you teach them as far as for them to talk to the children about developing that safe circle, so that if their parents choose to stay in the culture of silence, that the child has other options?
Well, first of all, the children or the teachers I help to teach children to tell the children that they are special and they are unique and they are the creation of God and all this, for them to feel that they are really special and they have a body just like anyone else, given or created by God to be kept private, because they have private parts of the body, and that is the starting of, and they are made by God. Everyone is made by God, but we are all special and should be respected as well. So those are the beginning, and actually the Thumbs Up is a 3-week program. So that is why we go slow with the children. First, to see, who am I? And that is something that the parents can see. Who is he or who is she? In their context of a family context, I feel it that way. Or if that is practiced at home, I don't believe that anyone in the home can be abused, because they are learning that each one of them is special.
So what is a safe circle?
Safe circle is one they can trust. Starting from, say for example, if they were playing a game, started from me, I'll be standing here as a type. Then comes my friend, my family. Then comes my friend, and those I know, and the service up there. So those are the people I go to. If my parents don't listen, I go to the next. I keep going until I'm hurt.
So you help children identify those safe people that they can go to. If they're abused or they suffer something, their parents won't listen, they can keep going.
Yes, definitely.
You want to add on that?
Yeah, it's a very interesting topic. Having your go-to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, your go-to people. When just in addition to what I shared about my family, when I was growing older, I started to identify safe people. Very close relatives of mine who I was able to say whatever I wanted to say, share what I was going through, and I guess for me personally, that's what kept me going.
Yeah.
I was able to be led, to be mentored, to be guided, and sometimes I sit back and I walk back the corridors of my life and my family. If it wasn't for those safe people, I don't know where I would be.
Sure.
Yes.
So now Mary, if you were to look in the camera and speak directly to children, what would you tell them?
Well, I'll tell them to tell their parents or whoever that this is me, this is my body, it belongs to me, and I'm special, and I'm the temple of the living God in that context. The younger you teach them the better they will be to able to protect themselves and speak up for themselves.
And as far as developing safe circles? What
Yeah,
would
and
you
developing
say?
cycles, as Madam Meta said, there are people out there, they themselves could identify. We need to ask them, who are you think you see people would be? That you could go to people where, if this happens, if mom and dad doesn't listen, who is the next one to go to? So you are actually guiding them through for the people who they think are safe.
So you need to go to the person that you trust. Someone that you trust.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Very important. So ECE teachers are being taught that so that they're able to disseminate that information to the little children that they teach as well. Right?
Yes. And that is why I think one thing that we should thank Homes of Hope for is that we are able to share this with the help of the ministry to these teachers. And we've just trained 52 from 49 schools. Imagine those 52 teachers, if they are able to share to the children, hundreds of children we are able to teach within this term. That is only through those teachers. But leave alone the ones we have created awareness in the communities. But if we all come together with that with that intent to keep creating awareness, imagine how many children can we save within a month or two and in their lives.
Truly said, Mary, truly said. It's very important as teachers, as parents, that we ourselves need to be the champions of our children's protection.
Yes, definitely.
And you cannot give something that you do not have, right? And it's very important, it's time and age. And it's a choice. Yes. It's a choice. It can be done on a family level, on a personal level, or family, on a unit, that small unit, or it can be done as a community, as a village, whether it be formal or informal. We need to choose. Should we need our place to be safe, then we ourselves need to champion the protection of our children.
And I just want to add on to that, because at Homes of Hope, the youngest victim of rape that we have had was 18 months old. And that's actual penetrative rape. So, and then the majority of the girls that come through that tell us their story, the majority of them were raped or sexually abused in some way at age 3, 4, 5. So here's the thing, people, is that if we are not busting through that culture of silence and talking to our children about these things at a young age, then we are just setting them up to be vulnerable to the uncle, to the neighbor, to whoever comes through and sees this child as vulnerable and free game to just go for it. An 18-month-old child. So we have a job to do. Would you agree?
Yes.
We have a job to do. Yeah.
Yes, so it's very important that you find or you teach your children that, or again, building that relationship so they're able to trust you. Because once the trust is there, that bridge is there, the trust is there, they're able to talk to you about anything.
Yeah.
I came across someone who was abused at the age of 4. And this person was able to tell his father just a few weeks before his father passed away. And what his father said was a pastor, why did you not tell me this 30-something years ago? And the only thing he said was, I did not want you to see me as, I knew you'd see me as something dirty. So he did not even try to talk about it. That is what was already on his mind, that, I'm not going to talk about it. I know that he's going to see me as something dirty or someone that's dirty or unworthy. So it's very important to what every episode will be about is the importance of addressing all of these issues. You've heard this episode and the past 2 on the culture of silence, and times are changing, and we, even though we grew up in families like that, we can change that. So always remember, there is someone that you can talk to, or whatever you're going through as a wife, as a mother, as a child today, remember, there is someone that you can talk to. There are other people who have been through it and will be able to guide you on the steps that you take, or just to help you heal. It helps when we talk about things, right?
Yes.
So for more information, if you want to know anything, don't be afraid to contact us. You'll find some important numbers in our description notes that are accompanied with the video, with the toll-free lines that are available. All that we're encouraging you is to talk about it, and there's help out there for you. From all of us, would like to thank you for tuning in again. Always remember that we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube, we're on LinkedIn, and we're on Instagram for the young ones. From Wailoko again, Mwabimanda.
Vale.
Nakatakan.